Hey guys, me Boog,
It's Dad.
and today we're going to be reviewing the Eon Retro Glow Wireless Translucent Boombox with 10-hour battery.
Right. This is
What a
definitely
title!
for something for those of us of a certain age. And then we thought, and it's definitely different from what me and Bib normally do, which is mostly toy and decoration reviews. But this is fun. This is absolutely amazing. And like I said, if you were a kid, probably of the '70s, '80s, definitely, then you know what this is. You probably grew up with these. You owned one. And now Ion has kind of re-released the old classic boombox, cassette boombox, but with an updated twist. So you actually get the full boombox, which is about the size of what your normal boombox was back in the '80s, and with all the functionality that boombox had, plus, of course, with today's technology, so the Bluetooth and the battery backup, all that kind of thing, and some crazy LED lights around the speakers, which we would have died for back in the day, but that did not exist, of course, back then. But yeah, so you basically just get an updated version of the boombox, which is absolutely incredible, totally amazing. And this thing goes for a little bit over $100. I think Walmart, Sam's carry them. You can find them on there. Um, uh, my amazing wife got this for me for Valentine's Day, so I've had it for a little over a month now, boo, because it's
Yes.
St. Patty's Day now. Um, we've used it a lot. If you happen to follow our wrestling shows that we do, we've been using it in that a lot for the intros.
Yes.
It's a great backdrop. It looks awesome with the LEDs, and of course, it works for the intro music. So it's been great for that. And we've got a lot of hours of use with it, and it's absolutely phenomenal. Love this thing. So, like I said, what you're going to get is of course, your Bluetooth, basically Bluetooth speaker or speakers is what it is. But then you also get a real functioning cassette player. It actually works. You get the full functioning AM FM radio. You have different adjustment knobs here on the top for treble, bass, all that kind of thing, and volume. And the handle, and I mean, you just have like basically an updated boombox, like I said, turn this box around with some features, and it kind of gives you the feature list here on the side. So what we got is, of course, cool, fun, translucent design. So it is kind of a little bit of a see-through type design, but still has a lot of that silver and gray that we had back in the day. Um, Multicolor lights, Bluetooth 3 point or 5.3 enabled, rechargeable 10-hour ion battery, which is built inside, cassette recording and playback. Like I said, that feature actually works. USB micro SD card recording and playback, which is really cool. Separate bass and treble controls, AM FM radio, auxiliary input, and volume. I'm not sure what that means in meters or something like that. So, anyways, there's your box. Very, very nice. All right, give us a couple seconds. We'll get it out and show you what it looks like.
We're back.
Yeah, so here it is, the Ion Retro Glow unboxed.
I'll be
And
right back. We're back.
isn't this absolutely amazing? Isn't it gorgeous? Isn't it beautiful? I mean, it looks
Oh,
just like, yeah, the ones we had back in the day, especially when I was a kid. I carried this thing around everywhere. That was the awesome thing about this because you could have your tunes. Uh, in your room, bedroom, and then you could take them with you on the go to, when you rode bikes, wherever you went, all the stuff that we used to do outside. This thing was with me pretty much at all times. The only bad thing about it was the battery situation. They always took D batteries,
yeah,
and
Papa had to listen to a lot of loud music coming from Dad's room.
yes, he did. Lots of loud music come from my
They
room.
had to tell Dad to quiet down a few times.
So in your room, you could plug it in. There was pretty much nowhere else. So when you went out on battery mode, the DMAT batteries back in that time may have lasted you about 4 hours. You didn't get very long. So that was the bummer. But now with this, it doesn't matter. It's got a 10-hour rechargeable lithium battery built in. So you've got 10 solid hours of tunes if you're not near an outlet, which is absolutely amazing. I love that about it. And that's the way all these new portable speakers, because Ion, that's the kind of company they are. They make all these different portable, party speakers and stuff. We have one at work that's actual just a boom box. But anyway, so yeah, so you get all that with this, which is very, very cool. Like we were talking about earlier, so you got your two speakers here. They're great, but they're not going to be like the large portable speakers, that Ion and other companies make. It's not going to blow you away. It's loud enough. It's good enough to use outdoors, but it's not, it's not designed, it doesn't have that oomph like a lot of those party speakers have. So don't think you're getting that because you're not. But for something you want to turn on, listen to, it's good enough. You're not going to put on a full concert with this thing, or
Yes.
anything like that. It works great for what me and Big do with our wrestling, the intro, stuff like that. It's plenty loud enough for all that. That's awesome. But just keep in mind, I mean, these are two like 5-inch speakers. You're not going to have, the deep bass and the boom, 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 and you're not going to be able to hear this for 500 feet away or anything. Like some of the others. So there's that. So that's out of the way. So anyhow, so yeah, here's your cassette. I'm going to open that up, which and it's fully functioning, by the way. So you have the stop. Here's the buttons on the top. Tip stuff you could have. This is the stop eject. So I'm gonna press that. Out he comes. I love the nice slow display. And then in here is the fully functioning, as you can see, cassette player. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any cassettes to play. Sure, I have some in storage somewhere, all the mixtapes,
Oh
because that's
no.
essentially what this is and what it was for me then. I mean, this is how I played 90% of my music. You would record it from the radio station, which is here, make your mixtape, and then this is what you listen to 90% of the time. Um, and of course, like you said, it was always the waiting game of waiting for that perfect song to come on. And you never got the beginning of it. And then you would press, of course, you have your tape in there, your blank tape. And then you would press the play and record button, which is here. And that would give you, and mine won't press down because I don't have a tape in there right now. But that would give you the recording. And if you catch whatever songs you wanted to, or sometimes at night, they would play most of the good music. So I would just record for a couple hours at night, whatever I could get after I was sleeping, and kind of wake up the next day and be like, oh yeah, okay, I got that one, that kind of thing. So that's kind of the way you did music back then. Especially as a kid, you didn't have a lot of money to go to the record store and buy the cassettes.
Yes.
Um, so anyway, but yeah, so that's kind of how that works. But yeah, fully functioning cassette, player there, which is great. And then here at the top, you see you got your fully functioning AM FM radio. The dial is, of course, probably most kids don't know what the dial is, but here is the antenna that attaches down on the back. So you pop
Ta-da.
that up, so that makes
And
sure that you get
it extends all the way to the sky. You can't
exactly.
even see it.
Yeah, this goes actually into outer space and connects with
It
yes,
went right through a ceiling.
the things called satellites now that are out there, and it will bring you every station in the world back. No, I'm just kidding. Probably not. It's just going to get your local AM FM stations, but hey, that's all you need. But honestly, radio these days is nothing like radio was back then. So I don't even listen to radio, so I probably won't ever use that function. But
Yes.
it's there if you want
Yeah,
it, and it's
literally
there for
rocket
that.
launchers the
Yeah,
radio now. So I get the
yeah,
call.
it's there for that feature. Yeah, and then like I said, your dial is I think is here. So you have the big round dial, and that actually you can see it moving here across the front, and it's got that old feel of it's kind of got some tension to it. It's not easy to turn as you're tuning in these stations that you may want to tune in, and it goes back and forth like that.
Channel
Feels
5
really
Action
good.
News.
Yes, and I love here too is because you have your wattage for each speaker, and these work, and you'll see it when we turn it on. They come on and kind of show you what kind of watt your speaker's putting out, which is really cool. Um, and then you do have these minis here, these little tweeters up here at the top, which is very nice, kind of for your highs. And what little bit of bass this thing does put out, of course, comes from down here. And then the controls at the top, so cool. So you've got, of course, just your volume button here, and you've got bass, so you can do max. I usually keep it max because it's just not going to put out a lot of bass anyway. And then your treble, which is these speakers here at the top, the minis, is this one. And I usually just keep it in a mid range because if you don't, it gets to be a little ear piercing, especially with all the 80s classics that I'm rocking out all the
Yes.
time. So,
Dead
yeah.
wrestling theme songs.
D. Snyder can make your ears bleed sometimes. So,
True.
yeah, try to avoid that. So and here on the side is kind of some other features. So you've got an auxiliary port here, which I don't remember having those back in the day. But so that one you can use if you want to. Uh, I guess like
Headphones.
yeah, this is the
Yeah.
headphone. This is the headphone jack, and that is different. Of course, I already know what headphones are. So that's your headphone jack for
That's
that.
what Granny uses.
Yeah. And then, right, that's to carry it with you and just you can jam out to yourself. But the
Yeah.
auxiliary jack, that's if you want to use these speakers as a playthrough from some other stores. Movie night, that's what we use the auxiliary jack for. So we would when we did movie night, um, we wanted a little more sound than the old projector had. So I would run the auxiliary cord from the projector to not this because we haven't done any of that stuff had it, but to another speaker, and then you would use this to play the sound of the movie, and it would be a lot better, especially outdoors.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of what the auxiliary port is, and it's a good function to have when you do need it for something like that. So I'm really glad they included that, and that's pretty much. And then down here, this is the control button for your light show, which that definitely was not on the original one at
Definitely.
all. Was not that. We'll show you how that works here in a second. And then on this end, of course, the giant radio tuner dial, and a lot of other buttons here. So this is your you have your USB port here, which is really cool. A micro SD port here, and then you have your mode, your record, so you can record onto those, and your playback here buttons. I guess for that SD card, so you can store your music here and play it back with these features, which is really cool. I don't know how that works,
Guess you
but
just download the music onto your SD card and then
pop it in
put
there.
it in there. Yeah.
Okay, that's I guess that's an option. I guess if you don't want to stream from your phone, which that's what I do normally, and that's probably what I'll keep doing for Bluetooth. That's just how I do all my music. I have what do I have? Amazon
Yeah.
Prime Music or something, and I just stream everything from that. It's everything I can want and more.
Yeah.
And then
Jazz not a Spotify.
yeah. And then no, I'm not a Spotify. And then you can see there are parts of it that are translucent, so you can kind of see the insides just a little bit there. You have this nice gray on the back, and it's also translucent. Turned around, kind of hard to see on the video, but you can actually see through a lot of this. That there you can kind of see inside. But that's what the back looks like, just the vents basically for cooling. And we have down here, of course. Then this is really cool too. So you've got that built-in 10-hour lithium battery inside. But you also have the option of if that's not enough, and you're definitely in the middle of the boonies where you have nothing, no way to recharge this thing, no way to plug it in. You do have the D battery option. Look at that, Jewel. So yes, you can pay out $50 for one for six D batteries, maybe not 50, but pretty close to shove in there that will last you at least 3 hours. I don't know, with the tech in this thing, it may last you a lot longer than it used to last during the day. So, but you still, I love that they include that option. So you've got the D battery port here if you need it. If you run out of the 10 hours and you can't recharge it, then you've got whatever these Ds will get you. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. Probably will never try it. But unless this battery dies, then I may have to try it. But yeah, you do have that option, which is very very cool.
And then
Right there.
next up we have mom's favorite button, the off button.
Yes, there's your on and off. Yeah, switch. Absolutely. Boom, just turned it on.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's the bottom. Not a lot to see there. All right, so let's actually catch this baby in action. All right, Boo. So Boo's going to power it on.
Ta-da! There you go.
There she comes.
Bluetooth pairing.
And right now it's in that
Bluetooth connected.
built-in power or built-in battery mode. We don't have the plug plugged in. I guess is what I'm
Yes.
trying to say. You can see the LED lights working there. Uh, we'll go ahead and go through the functions of the lights. You can see all of those. That's kind of like whatever that is. Here's the next mode. Okay, so it's just changing colors basically, right?
Yeah. I think it just does that. Yeah. Just changes colors over time.
Maybe there's it
There
does
you
do different
go.
patterns. So that's kind of like a fade to the different colors. So yeah, all kinds of different stuff you can do with these lights.
Off.
That's just all.
Rainbow.
Yeah. I think there's like 6 or 7 functions.
Yeah, changing rainbow, I guess. And then
Yeah,
back to
where we
around
were.
the world.
So yeah, and these look really cool in the dark. Obviously, we're in the daylight right now, but these look really, really cool in the dark, for sure. And you can see as soon as I turned it on, I was already been paired with my phone, so it hooked up right away. It's somehow it knows. I don't know how it knows. It just knows. It's like, oh, Dad's phone. There it is. Sensing, connected. Yeah. So somehow it just knows. And then of course it's ready to play some tunes. So I'm just going to play a little bit, trying not to get copyrighted here. I don't really know what to play, but I just want you to hear it a little bit.
That's okay. Well, it's up there. Well,
Right.
it's just a baby going to kick off.
And it may not. Sounds are just. Excellent. Oh, you got it. Oh, yeah. Awesome. Here. Okay. So, so yeah, that's all it's got. Like I said, it's not going to blow you away, but it's good enough. I mean, for like I said, using this indoors anywhere, it's perfectly fine. Only time you're going to find it lacking is if you're outside and you want some big, deep, sound. You're not going to get that from this. Like I said, if you're in a small seating area, like I'll probably use it out there. In our gazebo area, it's like 16 by 16. It'll fill that full of sound just fine, but it's not going to cover like the entire pool deck, from one side to the other where you're going to be able to hear it and it'd be really loud or anything like that at all. So, but yeah, that's kind of what it sounds like there. Um, I'll give you one more so you kind of hear the bass. Um,
The little clinic? Where?
Give it just a second here. But isn't this thing amazing? I mean, look how cool this is. Yeah, if you ever owned one of these original ones, you've got to pick this up. Just got to pick this up. But here we go. Here's something with a little bit of bass. One of Boog's all-time
God,
favorites.
Becky, look at
Yeah.
her butt. It is so big. She looks like one of those rap guys' girlfriends that, who understands those rap guys? They only talk to her because she looks like a total prostitute. Okay? I mean, her butt is so big. I can't believe it's so round. It looks out there. I mean, gross. Look.
And I think that's enough. So I think that's gonna wrap up this review. So
They didn't hear the bass yet. We needed some bass drops. I mean,
I think that was 30 seconds. I think YouTuber guy's copyrighted.
Oh, okay. And that's it.
Yeah, that's all you get.
All right. Let me do the second 30 seconds because that part will be over with.
Yeah, man.
All right. So just the next 30 seconds.
Bluetooth pairing.
I'll have to read this video 1,000 times.
Bluetooth connected.
Okay. So just want you to hear the bass and then
Okay.
right.
Just not wanna go off the itty bitty western around thing in your face, you big strong. Club, did you notice that? Was the jeans she's wearing. I'm hooked and I'm staring. Oh, hey, I wanna get this out. That's in your picture. My homeboy gotta warn me, but that what you got makes it. I'm a smooth skin, you see my pants, but use me, cause you ain't that rich groupie. I see her dancing. To hell with romance and sweat like wet. Got it like a triple bet, like I'm tired of magazine.
Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, you can hear it there, and it's it's a bump, a little bit of something, but it's not going to be anything like what we get with these amazing party speakers that Ion and other companies also make. But anyway, so now I think I've covered pretty much everything, probably too much. As usual. But so yeah, I think now it's just going to come down to the Booganet 5-star review. What do we think about this Boog? Remember the price range of about $120. All the features. What do you think?
I think it's 5 stars. I think it's amazing.
Absolutely. Could you imagine way back when this was your only way of listening to music?
Yeah.
I know you're not a big music fan, but still.
That back when Dad tried
There was
to be
no
cool.
streaming. There was no CDs. There was no, yes. Yeah. It was literally radio and a cassette if you were lucky and the
Yes.
mixtape. This was definitely the era of the mixtape.
Yes.
And I had hundreds of mixtapes. Yeah. And so, yeah. Anyway, all right. So, yeah, 5 stars. All right. For me, obviously, 5 stars. I love this thing. This hit me in the sweet spot. Like I said, we have fun with this all the time. So I'll take it outside. I'll take it inside. It's super, super portable. That's what it's for. So, yeah, if you're interested in something like this, hit up, like I said, samsclub.com, walmart.com. I think they're even on Amazon. How long they'll make this, but God, I think this has been a huge hit. So, but get one while you can because these little things, it may go on for a while. It may not. So grab one if you want, but I highly recommend it. Like I said, just so much fun. All right. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you on the next one.
Make sure to like, subscribe. We'll see you guys next video. Bye, everyone.